Lions News Fan Report. The NFL season has already begun with a series of moves shaping the future of several franchises, and among them, the situation of Za'Darius Smith, the former defensive end of the Detroit Lions, remains one of the biggest points of uncertainty. After making a considerable impact during his time with the Lions last season, the 32-year-old veteran is still on the free agent market, waiting for a decision about his future. The big question now is, could Smith, with his experience and skill, be the key piece the Lions need to take a significant step toward the playoffs and even a potential Super Bowl run? Or on the other hand, should the Lions look to the future and move forward with younger options that have greater long-term potential? Za'Darius Smith joined the Detroit Lions midway through last season in a trade with the Cleveland Browns. The move to Detroit was a strategic play by the Lions, who were looking to strengthen their defensive line and, in particular, improve their ability to pressure opposing quarterbacks. And indeed, Smith's arrival proved beneficial, as the player recorded 4 sacks in just 8 games for the Lions. His contribution was valuable to a defense that, at that time, was already missing Aiden Hutchinson due to an injury. Smith was able to take on the responsibility and ensure the team's pass rush remained competitive, which proved crucial for the team throughout the season. However, the franchise's financial situation led the Lions to make a tough decision. They released Smith before the start of free agency, avoiding a $2 million roster bonus that would have been required if he had stayed on the roster. Additionally, his impact on the salary cap was around $11 million, which led Detroit to explore cheaper alternatives to strengthen their defense. While this decision was pragmatic from a financial standpoint, it left the Lions with a significant gap in the pass rush, as the defensive end position remains one of the team's most urgent needs. So far, the only move made by the Lions has been re-signing Marcus Davenport for one more season, but Davenport's signing doesn't fully address the need to reinforce the defensive line. Hutchinson, despite being a promising talent and one of the pillars of the defense, still needs support. The question now is, could Smith return to fill this gap and be the player who finally brings balance and strength to the team's defense? Smith has a long career and a solid trajectory in the NFL, which makes him an attractive option for any team in need of pass rush experience. At 33 years old, he's no longer a young player, but his productivity over the years continues to impress. In 2024, for example, Smith accumulated 35 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 9 sacks in 17 games, which is still significant production for a player at his position. This shows that he still has a lot to offer, both in terms of pressuring quarterbacks and contributing to the run game. Despite this, the issue of age starts to emerge as an important factor. At 33, Smith is now in a more advanced stage of his career, and although he had a highly productive season last year, the question of his longevity and ability to maintain a high level of performance for another season is up for debate. At this age, physical wear and tear becomes more evident, and there is always the concern that a decline in performance could happen at any time. This naturally leads fans and experts to wonder, does Smith still have the same energy and ability as before, or will his production start to decline as he gets older? Another factor that could complicate things for Detroit is the fact that Smith, throughout his career, has been an extremely sought-after player by teams looking for pass rush reinforcements. His experience and skills continue to be highly valued in the league, and this means he could attract offers from other franchises willing to offer more money or better opportunities to compete for a title. For the Lions, this could represent a significant obstacle. If other teams offer a more lucrative contract, Smith may end up going a different route, which would put the Lions in a difficult position to find other alternatives to fill the gap left by his departure. However, the Lions still have compelling arguments to try to re-sign the veteran. First, there's the issue of the chemistry already established between Smith and Detroit's defense. His presence last season was notable, and he showed that he can work well alongside Hutchinson, forming a pass rush duo that has the potential to be devastating. If both are healthy in 2025, they could create one of the most feared duos in the league, which would be a huge asset for the Lions. What is certain is that for Detroit to succeed in the playoffs, the pass rush needs to be one of their strongest assets, and Smith's experience could be a major differentiator in this context. Additionally, the competitiveness within the defense has been one of the pillars of the Lions' roster-building philosophy. By re-signing Smith, the team would have the opportunity to add more experience and depth to its pass rush, creating a highly competitive environment within the defensive room. Even if the team opts to invest in young talent through the draft, Smith could be an influential veteran who raises the level of the group and helps the younger players develop their game. Looking at the big picture, Detroit has done an excellent job building a solid foundation with players like Aiden Hutchinson, a a promising talent who quickly established himself as one of the pillars of the defense. However, the team's defense still needs more consistency, especially when it comes to pressuring opposing quarterbacks. Smith's addition last season was an important step, but can he alone be the solution to a defense that still needs to prove itself in crucial moments? It's a legitimate question, and the answer to this may lie in how the Lions decide to balance experience with youth. As we all know, the NFL is a league where timing is everything. A team's window to fight for a Super Bowl can be short, and often franchises need to act quickly to seize a unique opportunity. For the Lions, this window may be opening, and keeping a player like Smith alongside Hutchinson could be the missing piece for the defense to truly become a unit feared by all opponents. However, hasty decision without evaluating all aspects could come at a high cost in the future. The Lions will have to weigh the cost of re-signing a veteran player versus the younger options with more potential for growth. If Smith decides to return to Detroit, it could also mean he has one last chance to pursue the title he's always dreamed of. Last season, he already expressed his desire to join a team with Super Bowl ambitions. Detroit, with its talented and growing roster, could be that team in 2025. If both sides reach an agreement that benefits them, this partnership could yield great results. Furthermore, Smith could be the leader of a defense that, if well-structured, could make the difference in key games. Finally, the question that remains is, will the contract renewal between the Lions and Za'Darius Smith become a reality? The possibilities are open, but time is running out. Teams looking to strengthen their defenses will also be keeping an eye on Smith, and this could make the negotiation even more challenging. Detroit will need to weigh the options carefully, considering both Smith's immediate value and the long-term impact of his stay with the team. What do you think? Should the Lions bet on re-signing Za'Darius Smith, or would it be better to move forward and seek younger or more affordable alternatives? Leave your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all NFL and Detroit Lions news, don't forget to follow our channel Lions News Fan Report. We'll continue to closely monitor every move of this franchise and bring the best analyses to you.